So one thing I want to share with you guys is the type of foods that you eat on a daily basis. You know, I think like for me right now, I eat one big meal a day. I try to avoid eating breakfast. I think, you know, it's the amount of food that we eat, we consume on a daily basis. It's because all the food is available and we overconsume. I think if you could just lessen that and then you make sure you do something each and every day, like workout, walk, run, do a sport, right? I think that's the important thing. Of course, you lessen all the fast food. You lessen the oil, you lessen the sugar, the salt. Maybe a little bit of salt is okay. Just watch all the bad stuff, I guess. I try to, as much as possible, eat less fried stuff. Let's say if I'm doing eggs, I'll probably just boil it. You know, if you're gonna eat fried chicken, don't eat fried chicken. If you have to, maybe eat a drumstick just to get the craving out of the way. Sometimes the fast food, like Chinese food, right? I love Chinese food, so it's hard for me not to eat it when it's in front of my face. It doesn't mean you gotta stop, right? You could consume it, but just not as often. You do it once in a while. Maybe I'll have Chinese food once a month, maybe. So I'll eat lunch most of the time. That's my big meal, and at night I'll just probably have oatmeal or a toast with avocado, or most of the time I just drink my green juice. And if you have to eat another meal at night, try to eat it 3, 4, 5 hours before you sleep, and then drink some warm water, sometimes even tea. At night, that might not be a good idea because it has caffeine. Just drink warm water. I usually put ginger and then lemon and maybe a little bit of honey. Now, even with fruits, you can't consume too much, right? Let's say you ate a pineapple. You can't have a whole pineapple. You know what I mean? You still got to balance it. You still got to minimize the amount of food you consume, even though it's a fruit. I try to eat a banana each and every day. I don't wait for it till it becomes brown, because when it's brown, that is extremely sweet and that's a lot of sugar on it, right? Things of that, you got to be mindful, right? And just got to keep reminding yourself. Sometimes it'd be a good idea to have maybe a picture of something disgusting on your shelf in the kitchen, just to help you avoid eating the junk stuff like chips, popcorn, sweets, chocolate bars, cake, pop. You know, those things are like, even the canned goods, right? I try to avoid eating that stuff. It doesn't mean you gotta stop fully. Minimize the amount of that stuff that you eat. And you just gotta be mindful and remind yourself all the time. And it's gonna be a battle. It's gonna be hard. Like for me, it's hard to, when I see a good strawberry cheesecake, oh man, or a chocolate mousse cake, or those Filipino desserts, it's hard not to eat it. I think controlling it and eating small portions just to satisfy the craving is good enough. Back away. You grab a slice of it, eat it, and step away from the kitchen. You gotta do those little things, you know what I mean, to consume less. It's a mind game. And if you could do that stuff, then you're way ahead of the game. You know, I know with all the food that are available nowadays, right? We tend to overconsume because we could just go to the grocery store and just buy whatever and just eat it, right? When back in a few centuries ago, you know, they had to hunt for food, farm for food, right? They ate less, and you could see in their body, those people moved a lot more compared to us. We just sit down and watch TV. We move less. Sometimes maybe it's good to go back in our old ways. So consume less, move more, eat healthier. That's the lesson for the day. All right, and avoid fast food, avoid the junk, avoid the sugar, avoid the oil. You know what's right and what's wrong. You should be able to figure that out. All right. With that said, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys later. Peace.